day I started working at Papa Murphy's, I couldn't have been happier. The restaurant was prestigious, known for its exquisite cuisine and impeccable service. It was the kind of place where reservations were made months in advance, and even celebrities frequented. I felt honored to be part of the staff. I was hired as a server, and my duties included attending to the needs of the restaurant's elite clientele. The ambiance inside was mesmerizing, with dimmed lights casting eerie shadows on the ornate decor. Soft, classical music played in the background, enhancing the sense of sophistication. But as the days passed, I began to notice something strange about the restaurant. It started with the staff. Everyone had a peculiar air of secrecy about them. They whispered among themselves, their eyes darting nervously as if they were hiding some dark secret. Whenever I asked about it, they brushed it off, claiming it was just the stress of working in such a high-pressure environment. One evening, as I was setting tables for the dinner service, I overheard a hushed conversation between two veteran servers, Julia and Max. I couldn't help but eavesdrop. "I can't take it anymore, Max," Julia said, her voice trembling. "The things I've seen in this place, the whispers in the kitchen, it's driving me insane." Max looked around cautiously before replying. "We've all seen things, Julia, but we can't talk about it." "You know the rules." My curiosity piqued. I decided to investigate further. That night, after my shift ended, I stayed behind, hiding in the shadows near the staff break room. It didn't take long before I heard voices. "The restaurant demands it, Max. We must do as it asks," said a deep, chilling voice. I strained to see who was talking, and to my horror, it was the restaurant's head chef, Gordon. He was holding a strange, ornate knife that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. "But the sacrifices," Max protested. "It's gone too far. How many more must we?" Before Max could finish his sentence, Gordon lunged at him with the knife, and a scream pierced the air. I couldn't bear to watch any longer, and I fled the restaurant in terror. The next day, I called the police to report what I had seen, but when they arrived at Papa Murphy's, they found no evidence of wrongdoing. The staff members I had overheard were all gone, as if they had never existed. The police concluded that I must have misunderstood or imagined the whole thing. I was left feeling like a paranoid fool, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong with the restaurant. I decided to continue working there, hoping to uncover the truth. As days turned into weeks, I noticed more and more strange occurrences. The restaurant's clientele was equally odd. They all seemed to know each other, referring to one another as members and exchanging hushed conversations that left me feeling like an outsider. One evening, I was assigned to serve a particularly enigmatic group in a private dining room. They were cloaked in shadows, their faces hidden by masks, and they spoke in hushed, cryptic tones. I couldn't make out their faces or understand their discussions, but their presence filled me with dread. The ambiance within the restaurant grew increasingly haunting. The classical music that once seemed soothing now felt like an eerie dirge. The dim lights cast long, twisted shadows that seemed to dance around the room. It was as if the very walls of Papa Murphy's were alive with a sinister energy. One night, while cleaning up after a late dinner service, I found a hidden door in the basement. It was locked, but curiosity got the better of me, and I managed to pick the lock. Inside, I discovered a room filled with strange, ancient artifacts and symbols etched into the walls. It looked like some sort of ritual chamber. As I examined the room, a feeling of dread washed over me. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew I had stumbled onto something deeply sinister. I quickly retreated, my heart pounding, and locked the door behind me. I began researching the history of Papa Murphy's, hoping to find some answers. What I discovered sent chills down my spine. The restaurant had a dark past dating back centuries. It had changed ownership numerous times, always under mysterious circumstances. There were rumors of secret societies and occult practices associated with the place. One evening, as I was digging deeper into the restaurant's history, I received a message from Max. He had managed to contact me discreetly. "Meet me tonight, outside the restaurant," the message read. "I have information that could save us both." I agreed to the meeting, my heart racing with anticipation. When I arrived at the designated spot, Max looked pale and haunted. "They know I contacted you," he whispered, his voice trembling. "We're in grave danger, but I've uncovered something that might help us escape." Max handed me a worn, leather-bound journal. It belonged to a former employee who had disappeared mysteriously years ago. As I flipped through its pages, I discovered horrifying accounts of rituals, sacrifices, and dark ceremonies that had taken place within the restaurant's walls. "Tonight," Max said, "we need to expose the truth about Papa Murphy's, but we must be careful. They're watching us." We decided to reach out to a journalist who had covered stories of the occult in the past. We met in secret, sharing the journal and our testimonies. The journalist was intrigued, but warned us that taking down a powerful and secretive organization would be dangerous. The next day, the journalist published an explosive article exposing the dark history of Papa Murphy's and its alleged ties to occult practices. The story gained national attention, and the authorities were forced to investigate. As the investigation unfolded, the restaurant's owners and staff members were arrested. Hidden chambers and ritual artifacts were discovered in the basement, confirming our claims. The truth was out, and justice was served. But even after the arrests and the closure of Papa Murphy's, I couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom that had plagued me since I started working there. The horrors I had witnessed still haunted my dreams, and I wondered if the darkness that had lingered within those walls would ever truly be banished. Papa Murphy's had been an elegant facade, hiding a sinister secret that had tormented those who had crossed its threshold. And as I looked back on my time there, I couldn't help but wonder if the true horror was not in the restaurant itself, but in the darkness that resides in the hearts of those who seek power and control at any cost.